Panama City versus Panama City Beach. Now, there are a million videos from real estate agents on here talking about, the crime rate, the cost of living index, all these different fancy numbers, and that is great. But today, we're going to be talking about it from the perspective of someone who lives here, someone who has been to almost all of the beaches, bays, parks, all of the piers, bridges, boat ramps, have hit the waters basically everywhere. So if you're moving to Panama City Beach for the water, for the things to do outside, for boating and fishing, that is more of the perspective we're going to talk about today, literally the lifestyle. You could go and watch those videos on all the statistics and the numbers, and I've got videos just like that here on this channel, but today I'm really just going to shoot you straight and tell you the difference between the two and why I've chosen where I'm currently at. Although they are kind of the same, they are also very different. And you're going to have two completely different living experiences, but they're both right next to each other. You cross the Hathaway Bridge, you're in one or the other. All right, so let's start with Panama City Beach. Now, the median home price in Panama City Beach is about $500,000. It's going to be $500,000. And I've noticed that the rent is actually very similar. So if you're moving here and you're looking to rent, of course, the houses and the townhomes and the condos right next to the beach are going to be very expensive. But if you want to pull off 5-10 minutes away, there's a lot of apartments that are just as cheap, if not cheaper. I'm finding more cheaper apartments over on the beach side than I do on the town side. Houses, they're gonna be really expensive over there. Houses are still really expensive on the Panama City side. Like, listen, the housing cost, I'm going to shoot you straight, is pretty expensive no matter which way you look at it. But there's actually not that much of a price difference in terms of renting apartments. But for everybody else who's actually looking to buy a home, you're more than likely going to spend more money in Panama City Beach versus Panama City. And Panama City has a lot of really, really good options. I just toured a house the other day in the low 200,000s. Literally, you could see it was nuts. It's not the beach, but it's the bay and the boat ramp. You got three launch spots, depending on the size of your vessel, within, I don't know, a quarter of a mile. Like, it was an awesome property. And it was like low 200s. It was awesome. Anyway, Panama City Beach, you're going to have a higher median age. You're going to have a higher median income. You're also going to have slightly longer commutes and the traffic. Listen, it's that time of year. It is July 18th. I stopped going to the beach unless I absolutely needed to. When I say the beach, I'm referring to Panama City Beach. If I say the beach, I'm talking about the town, not necessarily going to the exact beach. But it is a tourist town. Listen, there's going to be a lot of people. My church is actually in Panama City Beach. It's on the west end of it. And, it's about less than 25 minutes away, but it'll take me 40 minutes to get there on a Sunday morning with all the traffic. We're going to talk about the traffic on the Panama City side, but in Panama City Beach, honestly, I don't go there unless I just really want to eat at one of the restaurants. I'm going to the beach. And if I'm going to the beach this time of year, I'm really going to St. Andrews State Park. And overall, the traffic just gets really annoying. I mean, it's like, depends on where you come from, right? If you're coming from LA, big cities, you're like, this is nothing. But to me, it's like, it's just a lot. It's a lot going on. Spring break is absolutely nuts. Then we had like Jeep week and bike week, and there's it gets crazy. All right. That's all I'm saying. The rest of the year, Panama City Beach feels like a ghost town. You could get wherever you want, whenever you want. All the beaches are deserted, and basically peak tourism season goes crazy. There's a lot of folks, and it gets really, really old really quick. Panama City Beach is also going to have lower unemployment rates. It's generally going to be a little bit more bougie and higher end because, of course, they want the tourists to come and spend some money, right? Now, of course, you get amazing beach access. You have over 100 public beach access points, and a handful of them have ample parking. Now, it's this time of year, it's hard to find parking all the time in the public beach accesses, but you do have plenty of options, plenty of places to stay. But more importantly, for the residents, people like you and me who are living here or moving here, you have lots of public beach access. Plus, St. Andrews State Park is phenomenal. I've got a video touring the beach side of it here on this channel, and I'll be making a new version here soon. But it's really awesome. It's about 2 miles of just gorgeous shoreline. You've got the open Gulf. You've got the jetties and the inlet coming into the bay. You've got smaller jetties to snorkel, fish, a beautiful beach, tide pools, and of course a boat ramp. Costs money to get in the park with the boat, and costs money to get in the park anyway. But St. Andrews State Park is probably my favorite beach to go to in Panama City Beach. So it's beautiful. You have the beautiful beach, the Gulf Beach, the blue emerald waters. It's gorgeous, but you're going to have a lot of traffic. It's going to be even more expensive than it already is on the Panama City side. And there's just a lot going on. But if you really want to feel like you're on vacation all the time, definitely go there. But walking into a store and looking around, and like obviously everybody's from completely different parts of the country or even sometimes the world, it just doesn't have the same homey vibe as it does when you're walking into a Walmart, say on the town side. Now let's talk about the town side, the part I live in. And I'm very, very glad we chose to start with the Panama City side. And we just have the opportunity as of the next couple of days to actually move to the beach side, and we declined it. And I want to tell you why, in my personal opinion, why this side fits my lifestyle better. And maybe you'll agree. So it's more of a, although there's probably a higher population of residents, it feels more like a smaller, southern kind of vibey town. And the median home price in Panama City is $345,000. So it's quite a bit lower. You know, it's not as bougie. Of course, you're going to have some rougher parts than others. And I've been to basically every nook and cranny in really both cities, because when I first moved here, I had a furniture business. So I was constantly picking up, constantly delivering, and I was just in every neighborhood. I mean, all day, every day, running around, seeing everything. I've seen like the worst areas. And although they're really not that bad, you're going to have more rough spots on the map than you would in Panama City Beach. Now, I'll make a whole video kind of breaking down all of the different areas and where you can find, you know, the rougher parts, the happy medium where it's still affordable to live here, and of course, the super nice high-end, really nice areas of Panama City. And hey, don't get me wrong, the beach side's got some rough spots too. Don't get me wrong, but there's a few more over here. All right, here we go, folks. I'm about to go off on the reason I absolutely love Panama City. Okay, less traffic, more hometown feel. You got a lot more stores. It's a lot easier to get around and go to the dentist, go to the grocery store, get your oil changed. All that stuff is so much easier, happens way quicker, and you're not fighting all of the tourism traffic to just do basic daily runs. But here we go. I love fishing and boating. I have 2 little boats. My buddies have boats. I kayak. I wade fish. I like to hit the pier. I like to bridge fish. I like to bank fish. All of it, folks. And let me tell you, the Panama City side has some of the most beautiful Florida flats ever. Listen, we have a million boat ramps. You've got a handful on the Panama City beach side. The St. Andrews is the main one if you're going to go out into the Gulf. But let me tell you, Panama City has so many phenomenal ramps. Every bridge not only holds a bunch of great fish, and we have a kayak charter business where we go and we hook up into monster fish on a bridge in Panama City with boat ramps on either side. Listen, the parks here are phenomenal. You've got Bay Beach parks. And of course, they're not the emerald blue open Gulf waters. Most days, it's crystal clear. You have a little bit of crabs. You got some sea life. You've got all sorts of fish. You got some jellies coming through. Like, it's just beautiful. It definitely still feels like you're at the ocean, even though it's more of a clear color with that white sugary sand under it. It's a little bit different, but the sand's still soft. It's still beautiful. But the boating and fishing is, second to none. I'll make a whole different video on moving here for boaters and a whole different video on moving here for fishermen. But I'm sure you've seen me throw up quite a bit of footage of me just goofing around in the bays. But the bay parks are awesome. We have phenomenal playgrounds. We have phenomenal bay beaches that I swim in all the time. We have a free pier here next to that bridge I was talking about. You're not going to get, all of the stuff that you're going to get on the ocean if you're on the bay, like the Kings and all that. But we do have a free fishing pier in a really good spot. Like I said, we have 1,000 boat ramps, it seems. We also have a freshwater lake. And Florida, if you didn't know, is one of the best destinations in the country to bass fish. So if you like bass fishing, crappie fishing, bluegill fishing, which I like to do, I don't do it all that often because the saltwater fishing is just unreal here. But we do have a big freshwater lake. We've got marshes. We've got I would say ponds, but the beach side has 1,000 ponds as well. We have 1,000 ponds over here, but we have marshes, lakes, river, freshwater, brackish, salt. We've got dams, we have 3 bridges, 3 really good fishing bridges. And it doesn't matter. There are so many boat ramps and so many good spots that if you can only fish from the bank, you're good. If you can only fish from a kayak, you are solid. Some of my best fishing days of my entire life have been on kayaks. If you have little boats like me, you're perfectly fine. I've got a 10-foot pontoon and a 12-foot john boat, and I catch a ton of fish. I'm averaging 6 to 10 fish every time we go out. If you have a big boat, of course, you can go much farther and hit all the wonderful spots. And then we've got the whole world of the Tyndall Air Force Base and getting their recreational pass and going to Crooked Island and the beautiful We'll talk about that in another video. But the point being is, if you like boating, if you like fishing, you might want to consider the Panama City side. You've got lots of homes right on the water. My best bud's home is right on the water. He can park his skiff right in the back. We'll just hop in at 5 in the morning, drive literally 200 yards, and get on some monster redfish. Because, I mean, the fish are freaking everywhere. So many canals, so many grass flats, a lot of choke points. I'm not going to talk too much about the fishing because half of you people don't care about fishing, but might be something you want to get into if you're moving to Panama City and you're going to live this Florida outdoor nature lifestyle. Highly recommend it. But it's still pretty expensive over here. So keep that in mind. Not as expensive as the beach side, but it was not as much of a discount as I thought it would be. Let's just say that. All right, so those are the key differences in terms of lifestyle, not sheer numbers, data, and statistics. Now, here's the reason I personally prefer Panama City better. Less tourists, aka traffic, way more peaceful nature spots. I mean, there's so many different bay parks and flats and beaches on the bay here that you could really go anywhere and not see anybody. If I wanted to, I could go out right now, be completely alone, have my own beach, and just go swimming. Me and my wife do that all the time. Less traffic, great beaches, that's just less people at them. Phenomenal fishing. Of course, this fishing in Panama City Beach is really good. But my point is that you don't need a big offshore boat to absolutely crush some big fish here in Panama City. You can catch them from the land, which of course you could do with the St. Andrews jetties. But point being is you can wade fish pretty much anywhere you look here. And simply just the diversity in options and boating. You've got freshwater, you've got brackish water, you've got marshes, you've got rivers. So those are my 2 cents as someone who lives here and is outside basically every day. And in fact, I'm probably getting washed out, but I have a pretty mean sunglasses tan my wife likes to remind me of every day. But point being is, from someone who absolutely loves the outdoors, who is boating and fishing almost every single day. And in fact, I need to wrap this video up because I'm about to hop on a Boston whaler and go fish the Florida flats just down the road. I prefer Panama City. Panama City Beach is great. I'm there 3-4 times a week. I'll be there tomorrow, actually, and it's great. It's awesome, but I like where I'm at. Anyway, folks, I hope this maybe helped you decide on the type of lifestyle you're looking for. And if you are looking for a real estate agent, I can help you find one. My contact information is below. Shoot me an email. Tell me what you want to buy, when you want to buy, how much, and what type of property, and I'll simply connect you to an agent that I see best fit for your situation. Anyway, folks, I'll see you next time.